This is Jason Smith with an update on potential tropical cyclone number 9. Still not organized to the point that it's a tropical storm yet because it's so elongated and broad, but starting to get some spin to it here, so we're likely going to see this thing, at least overnight, become Tropical Storm Isaias. And you know, a lot of times a tropical wave in the tropical process will become a tropical wave, then a depression, and then a storm, but this is going to jump right past depression because the winds are already above 40 miles an hour. So it's likely going to become a tropical storm, but we'll see when that happens. In the meantime, we're tracking it as if it's going to develop so that we can go ahead and get an idea on the timing on it. All right, let's take a look at the maps, and I'll show you what's going on as we look at what is going to likely be a tropical storm. Zooming in a little here, the circulation is still getting organized. It's still broad in nature. There is some spin, though, especially south of Puerto Rico, and pinning down the location of the center. That's going to be right in here. And look at that burst of thunderstorms on the southern flank of this thing. So it's starting to look more like an organized tropical system. And so we're going to keep watching it and tracking it. I'm keeping track of it here, making sure we have audio. We had some audio issues with the last Facebook Live update, so it looks like we are rocking and rolling with this one. All right, so still elongated, got a burst right here near the center. What's going to happen with this thing? Where is it going? Well, let's take a look at where it is in relation to us. First of all, it's about 1,600 miles away, so it's a pretty good ways away from our area. It has a treacherous track ahead of it as far as mountainous terrain. That's likely going to have an impact on this system. The areas that it's going to have to cross include the mountainous areas of the Dominican Republic, and these are substantial peaks here. So it looks like just as it's going to start to get its low-level center, it's going to have to cross the DR and also Haiti. So it's going to be a challenge for it to hold together, which is good. And another thing we've got to watch out for is that it'll be very close to the coast of Cuba, and eastern Cuba, right in here, is actually more mountainous than western Cuba. So some of the highest peaks in Cuba are here on the east side, and it's going to potentially go across Cuba or be very close. Notice how all the models are keeping it out of the Gulf, or they're just grazing the Gulf and recurving it across central Florida. This is a very positive sign for our part of the Gulf Coast. We're excited to see the models that show the circulation is likely going to be, first of all, to our right, to our east, which means we get the easy side of it. And now they're even further over onto the Florida Peninsula. And this is a shift in the forecast compared to where we were last night. Last night, a lot of these models were over central Florida, with the European actually putting it over here into the Gulf and meandering it into the central Gulf on Monday and Tuesday. Now, it's still a ways out and things can change, but I like it when the forecast shifts away from us as we're getting closer in time, because models are more accurate now than they were yesterday and the day before that. So this is a positive sign with this one. And I'm not wishing it on the folks on the Florida Peninsula, but if it has to cross the Dominican Republic and interact with Cuba, and there's some wind shear involved, it's not going to be much when it gets into South Florida. And if it's moving fairly quickly, then it won't be a big problem. You know, normally a mid-grade or a low-grade tropical storm, the main issue is going to be primarily rainfall. So here is the official word from the National Hurricane Center. And good news, we're going to get a new track and an update from NHC on this system, and that's most likely going to come in sometime just before the 10 o'clock hour. We normally get that advisory between 9:45 and 10. If there's a recon flight in there, it'll be closer to 10. If we've got all the data, then it's likely going to be around 9:40, 9:45. So it's a 45 mile per hour potential tropical cyclone. There's no low of a center, but it's starting to get that wind going. And taking a look at what we expect to happen with this. Now, don't be alarmed by the portion of the storm that is in the Gulf of Mexico, because even worst case scenario, if this thing were to come up and go in around Panama City, the impacts in Mobile County, Baldwin County, and even Pensacola would be really minor. I mean, it's what happens on the right side that brings the onshore flow and the wind. So we're feeling good about having this one being to our east. Note that the decrease in intensity, part of that's because of land interaction with the Florida Peninsula, but NHC has it as a 60-mile-per-hour storm north of Cuba, and that's if it survives getting into this area. There's going to be a lot of inhibiting factors. Now, water's warm here off of Andros Island in the Bahamas and down in the Florida Strait, so the ingredients are there for some strengthening. And some of the models have hinted at a pretty lopsided system. In fact, I've got the European model for you. I'll pop that up. This was the one that I was always hesitant to show on television last night because it was so ominous looking for the Gulf. And it's such a reliable model. But taking a look at the European, this is Saturday morning. It has it located in the Bahamas off of Miami, and then it lifts the circulation up around Jacksonville by Sunday at 2 o'clock. Okay, if that's the situation, then we're likely going to see really quiet weather in our area, just a few spotty showers. In fact, it won't really have any impact on us at all if it goes up the Atlantic side of Florida. This is the scenario that would work out really good for everybody, keeping it off of Florida and just keeping it mainly out over the Atlantic as a tropical storm. It's not a real organized look to it anyway. So that gives you an idea of what we're seeing with this system. Also want to plop up the current radar because we've got some rain shower activity in our area right now, and this has been a tough thing for us. I mean, we have seen rain, rain, rain. And right now, most of the showers are up into Washington County and Clark County. It is a weakening band of showers that is holding together here in the inland spots. It's tracking on off to the east as we look at Mobile County and Baldwin County, isolated showers, just a few raindrops out there. I expect all this to gradually wind down. We still may have a few showers to track at 9 and 10 p.m. tonight, but later tonight it'll disappear. And then this is the good news. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put up the futurecast for tomorrow. And this is the futurecast. A couple of little isolated showers. That's it. We only have a 20% rain chance for tomorrow. How about that? Upper ridge is building in and drier air moves in at the surface. It's going to be welcome too, I think, because we've seen some really wet weather last couple of days, and we go on into Friday and potentially into Saturday with low rain chances also. So it bodes well for the weekend if you're trying to get outside, do something fun, get to the beach, do something that involves not watching it rain and having to dodge showers all the time. You're going to get some opportunities in the coming days with a much drier forecast. So that's an update on our potential tropical system. Looks like that it's most likely going to impact areas east of us based on the current forecast. Of course, that can always change, so we'll be tracking it every step of the way here on Fox 10 News.